There we go.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Joe for Studio Kaiju, doing a Kaiju After Hours interview with Mr. Sid Haig, who we're very pleased to have with us today. You're here in London, Ontario.
Yes, I certainly am.
At Shockstock, and you're talking about your career a little bit, telling us about some of the work you've done in the past, and I'm going to ask you one you probably don't get asked a lot about because it's one of my earliest memories of you. But do you remember doing Jason of Star Command?
Of course. How could you forget that? That was the #1 show on the air in that time slot for 2 years.
It was. It was
Yeah.
kind of. It was a fun little show. People don't talk about it much anymore, but even now the effects still look pretty cool, and they had a lot of fun guests on there.
Oh yeah. Well, we had some of our effects guys were on the effects crew for Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I noticed that there were a lot of people who were involved with it, actors that came in that weren't known for that type of material, that they were more the types of films that you would be in and so forth. And how did you know how they got people like you to do Saturday morning?
They gave me money. They gave me a lot of money.
Well, that's a good answer.
Yeah. And that's a perfect example of never say never, because I never in the world thought that I would do a children's show. Okay? 2 seasons later, there we are. So
that kind of rounds out a lot of your resume there, and giving you a little more depth, I guess, playing the villain.
yep.
Damn it, I'm trying to remember the name now.
Dragos.
Dragos, thank you.
Master of the Cosmos.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that was a fun show.
It was. A lot of, and it was probably the most difficult show that I ever did because we shot all 15 episodes in 5 weeks.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember reading there was a very tight production schedule for both that and Space Academy. So
Yeah, and so we would take all of the scenes that were shot, for instance, in the control room for all 15 episodes and shoot them all at the same time. So you had to remember where you were in each episode and what was going on before, so that there would be continuity there.
the whole thing was scripted well in advance.
Well in advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine with all the technical stuff they were adding would have to be.
Yeah.
So, but that's only one portion of your career. I noticed, because I didn't really do as thorough a check as I should have, and I'm apologizing for that. I noticed there was a picture with Sean Connery on your table.
Yeah.
That's from, I want to say Diamonds Are Forever?
Yeah, you said the right words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were a thug in Diamonds Are Forever. I did not know that.
Yes, I was one of the Slumber Brothers.
The two brothers?
No.
Oh, wait, no.
The Slumber Brothers were the morticians.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah. Okay, okay, yeah, the other guys. Okay, but yes, okay, all right. And so you got the new Bond film, that's cool.
Yeah.
And your history has taken you through a lot of motorcycle films, things like that. Nowadays, I'm guessing you're most well known for The Devil's Rejects with Rob Zombie. And,
Yeah.
So, any fun little stories from there, I'm sure?
I don't know. It was just a fun kind of situation to do that film, those 2 films. A lot of hard work, but it all paid off.
Did the material ever get difficult to portray? I mean, did it ever get unsettling for you?
No.
The things that were being, because I'd heard that Bill Moseley at one point had some issues with something like that.
Yeah.
His character.
I never. When I'm working, I detach myself from what it is that I'm doing, so it never becomes personal. Okay, if I have to play some kind of maniacal, crazy guy, then that's who I am that day. You know, and I leave Sid Haig at home.
Okay. So, would you say you're a method actor then?
After a fashion, I work organically. When I went to school, Pasadena Playhouse, which was probably one of the 4 famous colleges, theater colleges in the world, we had an impressive alumni list like Gene Hackman and Dustin Hoffman and Charles Bronson, So those are, and Robert Young and Robert Preston. At one point, Cecil B. DeMille was the chairman of the board. Yeah,
That is impressive.
Yeah, so working there, I learned how to work organically to make it real for myself, because we had a textbook that was the greatest book on acting ever written, because you never had to open it. The title said everything. Acting is believing. If I believe it, you'll believe it. And so that's what my object is with everything that I do, is to make it believable for me. If it's believable for me, it'll be believable for you.
Nice. So, and that's kept you busy for what, about 40-some years now?
No, about 53.
50, yeah, I was going to say.
This is my 53rd year.
Congratulations. So you've been busy about a year longer than I've been alive.
There you go.
That's not anything to sneeze at. So what's in the future for Sid Haig?
I'm working all the time. There's a couple of things going on right now that I can't talk about because the ink isn't dry on the paper yet. But I've got a film coming out hopefully soon called High on the Hog.
High on the Hog, yes.
And I actually wound up almost by accident being a producer on the show, because I was working the show and the crew was energetic, they were dedicated, they wanted to do a great job, but they, for the most part, didn't know how to make it happen.
So you sort of said, look guys, I've done enough sets, here's how it goes.
Well,
Let me help you out.
I went to the executive producer and I said, you need to get a producer in here that's got some organizational skills to teach these people what it is that they need to know so that they can do what it is that they want, because they really want to do a good job. And he said, will you do it? I said, well, you have my agent's number. So he called, they made the deal, and the next day I was the producer.
That's good.
So and I started the teaching process.
Speaking with a producer for a project I'm working on yesterday, and he told me he's never had a day on the set where he hasn't learned something new about the business.
That's right. Every single day I learn something new.
So, you ever regret any of your roles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Of course. And any actor who says that they do not regret one of the roles that they play is lying. Okay, because sometimes you just got to pay the bills and you do something that you normally wouldn't do, okay? But, you need to put food on the table.
That is true. All right, well, listen, I appreciate you taking some time to talk to us.
All right.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Thank you.